Welcome to the City of Medicine Hat Assessment Request for Information RFE tutorial video. On the first page of the letter, the first important point to note is the due date for this information is July 3rd, 2018. Moving on to the second page of the letter, this information is collected under the authority of the Municipal Government Act, Section 2951. Another important point to note is that if this information is not provided, no person may make a complaint in the year following the assessment year if any person has failed to provide any of the requested information. Moving on to the form, page 1, RFE 1. This tutorial is for tenanted properties, that is properties that have any vacant or any tenanted space. Question 1, we ask if the property is 100% owner occupied. In this example, the property is not 100% owner occupied, so we would check the no box. Question 2, we ask for appraisal details, if an appraisal has been done in the last 3 years. If you have had an appraisal done, please fill out the date, purpose, and amount of the appraisal. Section B is the certification, where you just fill out your contact information. Page 2, RFE 2, is the instruction guide for the following few pages. If you need any details on how to fill out the form, this guide will provide them. On page 3, RFE 3, we ask you to fill out your fiscal period for which you are reporting this information. We ask for your fiscal period that ends between July 1st, 2017 and June 30th, 2018. Moving down the page, this is the main section where we enter in the information on the leases and the spaces within the property. On column A, we fill out the tenant unit number. This is typically the civic address for the unit. Column B, we fill out the tenant business name. Column C, we fill out the occupancy type of the space. T for tenant, O for owner, V for vacant. If the space was vacant and then occupied by a tenant, please provide the vacant information in column D. Column E has the space description. Just provide a brief description of the space, whether it's retail, office, or warehouse. Column F is for the floor location. Column G is for the area of the unit. You can see on this property that there are 5 units. One is on the second floor, one is on the basement. Sum of all the unit areas at the bottom of the page is 5,000 square feet. Column H is for the commencement date. That is the original date when the tenant started occupying that space. That can even be on a prior lease. Column I is for the most recent lease renewal. So that's when the lease was renegotiated and re-signed. That would not be a rent step. Column J is for the expiry date of the current lease. Column K is for the lease type, triple net, double net, single net, or gross. In a triple net lease, the tenant pays all the expenses associated with the property. And with a gross lease, the owner pays all the expenses with the property. In column L, we ask for the monthly lease rent, and that would be the base rent for triple net leases. That does not include common area maintenance charges. For column M, we have the step-up rent. So if there is a step-up in the lease, please enter the most recent lease step and the date of the most recent lease step in column N. In column O, you need to enter in any percentage rent details. Percentage rent is an additional rent that is collected on gross sales for a business, typically on retail tenants. If you don't have any percentage rent information, leave the area blank. Moving on to column P, this is for building insurance. Please enter the allocation for that tenant either by actual payment or by area. of the building insurance in each column, and then enter on the side column under who pays this expense, whether that expense is paid by the tenant or the owner. An expense is considered paid by the tenant, even if the owner pays it directly and then collects a charge afterwards for common area costs. Column Q, similar situation but with property tax. Column R is for regular maintenance and repairs. This does not include capital expenditure. This includes regular costs such as grounds maintenance. Column S is for utility expenses. If you do not know the amount paid, which is often the case for tenants who pay utilities, please just enter a question mark into the box. Moving on to page 4, RFE 4. At the top, we ask for any sort of details on the prior columns. So in column N, Unit 2, we had details on the rent escalation. In column O, we have a description of how the percentage rent was tabulated. Moving on, you would not fill out this yearly expenses 100% owner occupied because this is a tenanted property. The final section is the section on renovations, where you fill out the date, expenditure, and any items replaced of any recent renovations on the property. If you need any assistance, feel free to contact the assessment department. Our phone number is 403-529-8114. This concludes our tenanted RFE tutorial video.